Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. So we're going to wait. My name is Sharon Nixon, and I will reintroduce myself again. But we're going to wait a few minutes to give people time to come from all of the different social media channels that we share this on. So hopefully they'll be here soon. If not, you know me, I'm going to start without them. So, yeah. So I'm going to do some behind the scenes stuff that you all should never see. And then we're going to start. So I'm back. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start. Um, I'll just let you see me. For those of you who don't know who I am, I don't know why you don't know, but it's me, Sharon. So this is really my very first show on the Sharon Nixon show on YouTube. So I have for so many months did my live broadcast on Facebook. And so I kind of jumped off the grid a little bit. And I decided to just start doing all of my live feeds either on this page or the Fashion Umbrella page on YouTube. So it's more of a marketing reason or platform that I decided to use instead of um, Facebook. So I'm just going to start. And for those who join later, they can just watch the replay. So yesterday, I had the privilege of watching the Oprah Winfrey um, Leaving Neverland interview or discussion with Wade Robeson and James Safechuck. And I heard a lot of flack about it before I actually watched it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it for myself and come up with my own conclusion of the show. A lot of people were bashing Oprah, saying that, you know, from what I've heard, they were bashing her and saying that she was accusing Michael Jackson, or she was kind of sort of being a judge and a jury. And I didn't get that from the interview. One thing I have always liked about Oprah, although I never really watched her show until she actually went off the air. That was the first time well, no, that's not true. I've watched it a couple times before then, but I really, really respected Oprah when she had her "This is my last show, I'm going off the air" show. And one thing about her that I noticed is that her questions are very riveting and they make you think. Like, she's not one of those type of people where she will interview you and you're quick to come off with an answer. I don't know if they provide the questions to the people that they work with or that they interview prior to the actual show or taping. But to me, it just seems like that maybe they didn't. And maybe they didn't. And if they didn't, her questions, you just don't want to come off quick with a response. So as I was watching the discussion, it was very interesting. And I know everyone is proven guilty. I'm sorry, everyone is not guilty. Everyone is proven innocent until they're guilty. And I don't know how this is going to play out when a person who's at the center of all of this attraction or attention isn't even here any longer. Like, he's not here to defend himself. So number one, that's interesting. Number two, I thought that the interview went very, very well. Oprah did not jump or accuse anyone of anything from now. Keep in mind that, because I don't want to hear it after this is over, keep in mind that this is just my POV, my point of view on the discussion. I'm not saying anybody's right. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying what I took from the discussion or interview or show that Oprah had involving leaving Neverland. So I saw the first part of the HBO series. I don't watch TV like that. So I just found out yesterday as well that there was a part two to the HBO segment. Didn't know that. So when I finish this, I'll watch that. And maybe I'll come back and do another and talk more about the part two of the HBO special. But from what I could see from the interview with Oprah, I really don't, I don't have 100% faith in Wade that he's telling the truth. James, now keep in mind for all the Michael Jackson fans, I'm not saying that Michael Jackson did it. I'm not saying he touched these young men. I'm not saying that he did anything that the press is saying that he's supposed to have done. All I'm saying is that from what I watched, now this is my point of view, from what I watched, the scale in my eyes are tipping to maybe there's some truth with James. And the reason why I say that, because James, his story just seemed, now I don't know if he's an actor. If he is, he's a very good actor. He's a hellified actor. But his allegations or his stories just seem so real. Wade, to me, just seemed like he was sitting there waiting for a moment to speak. Or if James was getting all of the limelight, now he wants to get a piece of it too. And I thought that was interesting. I watched the whole interview twice because I was on the fence about actually going live and talking about this because there's so much ruckus around it. And I didn't want to be blackballed on just my point of view, but it's America. And I guess if you're going to blackball me, you're going to do it anyway. So, but I was hoping that more people would join this live feed and weigh in on how they felt about it, what they think about it. I'm not saying that Michael Jackson did it. I'm not saying that at all. But I thought the interview was very, very well put together. The questions she asked were very, very thought-provoking. For her to have everybody in the audience who has been affected by is it child abuse? No, sexual abuse, has been affected by sexual abuse. I thought that was interesting. The young lady who is in charge of the Me Too movement, she was there. And I was wondering, well, I don't think she was a child. She was affected in a whole different way. So I'm just curious to know how they ended up picking the people who were in the audience. Because I'm very analytical. So I want to know, like, how did you get to this conclusion? Or how did you get to this answer? That's the type of person I am. And so my question is, how did you select the people in the audience? Also, for Wade and James, did they receive the questions ahead of time? The director, what really was going through his head when he actually decided to do the documentary? Like, what really went through his head? What made you pick out these two people? Did you reach out to Macaulay Culkin because he was supposed to have been caught up in that ring of sadness? And so I just thought that the Oprah Winfrey interview went very well. She didn't point fingers like I heard on the street that she had basically, you did it, you. It wasn't like, I didn't get that from her interview. I've never got that from any of her interviews. She just asks questions to kind of make you answer in a way that you would give up the answer either yes or no from your response. So I just thought that it was very interesting. I wish I could call Oprah and have, have a little talk with her and just dig a little deeper into her mind. I thought it was very brave of her to mention her sexual assault when she was younger. And, the way she described how when you're a child, when things happen like that, how children don't speak up because it's usually, like she said, somebody that you know and trust that takes advantage of you. And they do that knowingly, but taking advantage of the child or the children or whomever. Um, it's just sad that if it did happen, it's really, really sad. Um, but I do wonder if it happened, like why? Why with a person of a statue of Michael Jackson, if this happened, why would he pick children? Like, you're Michael Jackson, you can have anybody in the world, and you decide, allegedly, he decided to take advantage of children. Interesting. So I just wanted to come briefly. I didn't want to be here long. Um, just to talk about that. Just feel comfortable. Feel free to leave your comments below and also subscribe. So this will be my normal platform for going live. Not all of my lives are this serious or contained. I'm usually like, really crazy and very, very vocal. This is just a really touchy subject, and I have to be careful what I say so that I don't get any major backlash after the fact. But I just wanted to come to the screen and just drop my 2 cents, my 0.23 cents, my 23 cents of how I felt about the interview. I just thought that it was very well put together. Of course, I mean, Oprah, how else would it be? And I didn't see that she was accusing anybody of anything. I just saw her as asking questions from two individuals who say that allegedly Michael Jackson touched them or invaded their personal space illegally. So I'm Sharon Nixon. I am the host for the Sharon Nixon Show. And you can find me here. If you subscribe, you'll get a notification when we are scheduling our shows. So all shows will be scheduled. There won't be any just, I'm going to pop up and do it. If you subscribe or hit the bell down below and subscribe and hit the bell, you'll get a notification when we have scheduled our next live, which could be tomorrow. Never know. I'll be back when I have something to say. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm Sharon Nixon. Thank you for joining me for my first live recording on YouTube. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.